Coming up on Mountain News this morning, an explosion in eastern Kentucky killed a man over the weekend. And officials are warning of ATV safety as the months continue to warm up.
Dedicated to eastern and southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
Good morning. I'm Madison Carmouche. It is 5:31 on May 6th. Let's check in with meteorologist Mace Michaels for a look at your forecast this morning.
Hi there, Madison. We're looking at a cloudy morning, some foggy areas, and watching for some areas of rain. It's 61 now in Whitesburg with a cloudy sky. And in Hazard, we're talking about a little bit of low cloudiness, maybe some foggy patches. 61, but no raindrops. There is fog, though, around Ashland. Visibility at 5 miles. Pikesville now down to, Pikeville down to around a half-mile visibility. And Logan, your visibility is near zero. So pockets of the visibility dropping down. Lots of 50s and 60s for the temperatures this morning. It is a warm morning across the area. And, of course, we have the raindrops to talk about as clouds have been moving in throughout the night. Show you some showers here closer to Lexington. Couple of areas of rain north of London, back to Somerset, and also around Monticello. We'll see a few showers and thunderstorms throughout the day today. High temps in the mid-70s. The risk for severe weather is lower today, but it does increase throughout the week. I'll have more details on that coming up.
Mace, thank you. Officials are investigating 3 deadly shootings we first told you about on Friday. Kentucky State Police confirmed 1 person is dead after a shooting on Hammonds Road in Russell County. Our sister station WKYT was at the scene and saw a car crashed into a fence with what appeared to be bullet holes in the windshield. KSP also confirmed 1 person is dead after a shooting on Kentucky 619 near Lawless Cemetery Road, also in Russell County. Pulaski County Sheriff Bobby Jones says deputies responded to a report of a gunshot victim on Brown Ridge Road around 6:30 Friday night. He says they found a man dead from a gunshot wound lying nearly 200 feet from his home. The sheriff's office says they do believe this shooting is connected to the 2 in Russell County. 1 man has died in an explosion in Pulaski County. It happened near Highway 27 and shook a Somerset neighborhood around 10 a.m. Sunday. Federal, state, and local officials were all on the scene trying to figure out exactly what happened. First responders say details about explosions are still being looked into.
I know there's several houses that's been affected. There's been calls all over the Pulaski County said they've heard it, but the cause is still under investigation. Unfortunately, that's all the information I have at this time.
In a news release, Pulaski County Sheriff Bobby Jones says there is no longer a threat to the public, but since this is still an ongoing investigation, the public is asked to avoid the area. Health experts are now recommending women have mammograms at 40 years old. That's 10 years earlier than previously recommended. Grayson Passmore talked to a Woodford County health official who says an early screening saved her life. Now she and her radiographer hope every woman will follow her lead.
The very machine that found my cancer is right in our hometown.
Cassie Prather is a familiar face around Versailles. As a mother to 5 and the director of the Woodford County Public Health Department, she's known and trusted, which is why she shares her journey since her breast cancer diagnosis 1 year ago.
I knew that, the family risk was not there. I didn't feel like it was as pressing as it actually was.
At 41 years old, Prather was stunned when her first mammogram revealed her cancer. And after a careful follow-up from her oncologist, she was diagnosed with a second, more aggressive type of breast cancer.
I opted for a double mastectomy. It was the best case scenario for me, for longevity. I wanted to make sure that I didn't have to worry about breast cancer ever again.
If Prather had followed the U.S. Prevention Task Force's original screening recommendation, she would have waited until she was 50 years old to get that life-saving mammogram at Bluegrass Community Hospital. which mammography coordinator Laura Nicholson says is sadly far too often the case.
Out of all breast cancers that are found each year, statistics state that only about 30% have a family history. To me, that's low. I think we can get into a false sense of security of knowing that there's not a family history there and maybe not making it a priority.
Nicholson says they've always recommended women start screenings at age 40, barring exceptions, and continue an annual screening every year after.
I have seen firsthand how a mammogram can change someone's life.
Nicholson holds Prather's hand as they re-enter the mammography suite where she first learned of her diagnosis. Prather stopped feeling scared in this room. Through Nicholson's work and the hospital's team, she's empowered and tells her story to one day help others.
That saved my life, and it can save yours too.
In Woodford County, Grayson Passmore, WKYT.
With ATVs and other off-road vehicles gaining popularity in the last few years, there has been more crashes and fatalities involving them. The Consumer Federation of America says Kentucky ranked 8th in the U.S. for ATV and UTV accidents since the pandemic began. Red Star Wilderness EMS coordinator and the director of the Center for Outdoor Public Safety at EKU, David Pfeiffer, says Kentucky's geography plays a part in this.
We respond to those kinds of incidents year-round. I think people use a lot of ATVs in rural areas. They certainly use a lot down here in Powell County. In addition to recreation, they're utility vehicles, right? So some people have ATVs that they use to plow their driveway or even just to get down a long kind of gravel driveway just to check the mail every day.
Pfeiffer says when it comes to recreational use, too many people operate ATVs and UTVs under the influence or without proper knowledge, which leads to crashes. Hundreds in Clay County walked together from Eastern Kentucky University Manchester campus to Rawlings Stinson Park in an annual march against drugs. Jack Dimler walked with them to learn about the importance behind the 20-year march.
A personal experience with the impact of drugs.
A young woman in our church OD'd on drugs, and she had a teenage girl in our church, and we just we really were at a loss of what to do. We were so heartbroken and sad in what happened.
Encouraged Ken Boland, a pastor at Manchester Baptist Church, to find a solution to a serious problem.
That's sort of what got me involved and got me realizing we have a problem here that we need to address and do something about.
20 years later, hundreds of community members continue to make the mile-long march to shine a light on the ongoing fight against drugs that has left a huge impact on their community.
What it does, it galvanizes community support. It helps people to see that, there's some people who are seeing the same things that they are, and people who really are willing to stick their neck out and step out there and go public and wanted to do something about it.
The march even helped encourage others to get involved by creating organizations designed to help those dealing with drug use.
The march actually was a beginning of Chad's Hope Teen Challenge. That march produced us this program, and plus it brings awareness to the epidemic that's hurting our young people and our loved ones.
Organizations focusing on educating the next generation.
When we can raise a generation or two of children that choose not to go down this road, then we're really going to make an impact in the number of overdose death rates and everything that goes along with that.
In Clay County, Jack Demler, WYMT Mountain News.
Tom Vincini says Operation Unite has programs for 10 to 15,000 youths in the area just this school year and hopes to get more community partners to do more. For more information on Clay County's March Against Drugs, you can head to WYMT.com. Sunday, hundreds gathered at Harland Baptist Church for not just the Harland Independent School Choir concert, but the last one for longtime director. Marilyn Schrader worked in the school system for 54 years and is now retiring. Schrader was the longtime director for the Musettes, the high school girls choir, and directed the boys choir for the last 5 years. Alumna Missy Bianchi says she has impacted many of her students throughout the years.
The Harland independent music system without Marilyn Schrader there. She has been there for 54 years, and for her not to be part of that, it's just hard to wrap your mind around. But she has certainly blessed so many people throughout her 54 years.
Towards the end of the concert, boys choir and Musette alumni surprised Schrader with music, messages, and more. The Kentucky Department of Education is giving students a chance to keep their minds sharp during the summer. The department is bringing its Summer Boost program to 29 districts across the state. Some of the counties in our area that will have the program are on your screen. The intent is to motivate and remind families to read 20 minutes every day. The program will give away free books and prizes to students. When we return, the Hollywood Walk of Fame has a new iconic artist added to its street.
Wet weather here and there in the area. Watch out for a couple of showers and storms this afternoon and on into this evening. More details on when the rain arrives and when we could see some strong storms coming up.